Hello, Giles. Welcome to Rhodes. It's I've been told it's German, the only German gig during a European
That's right,
tour.
yeah. We're
How's it going?
yeah, it's we're doing we've done 2 dates in Poland, and we've got 2 dates in Switzerland, and we're very happy to be here in Germany as well, because we know that our CD got a very good response over here from the CD buying public. So it's great to be over here at long last from the UK.
Have you been touring Germany before?
No, this is our first time in Germany, so quite excited to see what it's like, and see what the audiences are like. Do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? This is our first ever show in Germany. So you, ladies and gentlemen, are our first ever German audience. So we'd like to give you the double thumbs up seal of approval already, because you look lovely, ladies and gentlemen. You look fantastic. I hope you're going to be fantastic. Okay, we're Giles Robson and the Dirty Aces. We're going to play a little bit of blues, a little bit of garage, a little bit of punk. Here we go.
You started out playing saxophone and violin before you started playing the harmonica.
That's right, yeah. Well, I started out playing the violin not for musical reasons, but because I was envious of a friend who had a violin. You know, I like the case and everything. So I started out with that, and then I got into jazz and started playing alto sax, Charlie Parker tunes and stuff like that. But eventually I fell in love with the sound of the blues harmonica, and I've been playing that ever since, you know. But I think those 2 instruments, the violin and the saxophone, really helped me out, you know, in terms of playing the harmonica and in terms of listening and stuff, you know, using my ears to, you know, to play.
Philip, you started playing guitar as your first instrument?
That was my second instrument, actually. I started out on drums, and because of my dad and you know the things he was listening, especially Jimi Hendrix, I thought I'll give it a go on the guitar, and I never looked back really. So yeah, I picked on the guitar and took it from there.
How did you get together?
Well, we were just working it out the other day. We've been playing together and writing together for 9 years.
Yeah, 9.
We met on the island of Jersey. Phil came over to work, and he came to one of my gigs with a previous band, and then he jammed with the band, and then we've been working together ever since.
And what attracted you to the blues?
Well, it's pretty much my dad's influence on me, and the music he listened to. He listened to a lot of jazz and a lot of rock, and obviously I followed the music. I wanted to know where that music comes from, where jazz and rock and what we were listening at home comes from, and I found out blues, and you know, fell in love with it, with Johnny Hooker, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, all the legends. So.
Listening to your album, there's also a little element of rockabilly.
Yeah, well, we like a lot of different musics, you know, and we didn't get fed up, because we, you know, love blues and love, you know, 12-bar blues and love the grooves and everything, but we just wanted to branch out a little bit, bring in some other influences, and we're starting to bring in a lot more influences of punk and garage in our new album that will be out hopefully in the autumn. So we just like writing songs, you know, with melodies and so on, which is quite hard to do when you're strictly blues based, because you don't have the, you know, it's great to play live, but we want to add, you know, little bits of melody and hooks and structure to our stuff, you know.
At the same time, it's a pretty organic process. You know, if you're a creative artist, creative musician in this respect, the music you're listening to will come through in your work naturally. So, and that's what we're listening. We're listening to, you know, rock, punk rock, garage rock, rockabilly, anything really, Bob Dylan, Tom Waits, you name it, anything that we like, it somehow naturally will go through
filters
into our music.
Yeah.
There's a big tradition of British harp players, Paul Jones, Mark Feltham. Will Wilde is one of the younger ones, more your generation. So you see yourself in this tradition?
No, I don't really listen to British harmonica players. I mean, in terms of harmonica players, I listen to Sonny Boy Williamson, Little Walter, Walter Horton, James Cotton, all the Chicago guys, and because I'm of the opinion that not much has been done on it since, apart from a guy called Sugar Blue and John Popper. And I just listen to a lot of other instruments, piano, trumpet, electric guitar, just to try and get different ideas on the harmonica. Because I'd like to see a bit of innovation and a bit of individuality on the instrument. And I haven't heard that much of it since those guys,
You mentioned Muddy Waters before. You've been working with Matt Morganfield, his son. Was it the band or?
Well, we
did a record with him.
We did a record with him,
in Jersey, a live recording, which was his actually second album, and got really good reviews with it. And we went on the road, and it was good fun.
We had two very, very fun tours with it, because you're looking across the stage and he's you're sort of. And you're looking across the stage at him, and his face is morphing between that of his face and his dad's. So for a blues musician, it's a great thrill. But at the same time, we wanted to do two tours and then get out of there, because you're always going to be Mud Morganfield's backing band and not yourself. And we didn't want to get trapped into playing strict Chicago blues all the time.
You just mentioned that there's going to be a new album in the autumn, and that means a lot of live activities. How difficult is it, especially in the UK at the moment, getting everything started?
It's cool. It's cool.
In the UK, they've got a bit of a problem with the retail, but at the moment,
the blues scene's pretty healthy.
It's pretty healthy. It's looking all right.
And it tends to work. It tends to work in groups when you're gigging. It tends to work in maybe 10 to 14 shows, then a month or so off, and then another 10 to 14 shows. And what we're looking to do with the new album is break out of that blues niche and do some more mainstream shows to get in a wider audience. And we've been starting to do some mainstream sort of indie shows, and the kids are really liking what we're doing. They're liking the punk influence and the garage rock influence.
Having these influences you mentioned and breaking out of the traditional blues, that means you're aiming at a younger audience.
Yeah, because we found that the kids love it, and they love blues, But it's trying to do the right gigs and approach the right radio stations to try and incorporate that younger audience into what we're doing already. Because we find that the blues scene aims at a certain specific age group, and there's a much wider range of ages that would actually be interested in it, but sometimes they don't get to hear about the blues shows, or it's just not on their radar, So we want to try and get on their radar.
Young people love the blues. If you play a boogie, one chord boogie, you can play it for 15 minutes. They'll dance their feet off. They'll love it. It's just the usual blues venues do not attract young people for some reason. So you have to bring that blues to them,
exactly,
to the venues where they are attending. So like student clubs or and so forth.
And that means new album that you're gonna start touring Germany.
We hope so. Yeah,
Hope
yeah.
so,
We
yeah.
have strong contacts with the great agency called Topolis, so we hope to work with them a bit and come over and do as much as possible.
Marcus
You know.
Solner, yeah.
Yeah,
Great guy.
yeah, really helped us out getting us into Germany this time. So, yeah, we're looking forward to coming back and really pushing the album. You know.
So thank you very much. And if you could play something for the people watching the video, would be great.
Sure.